I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night.
As Lionel Messi and Argentina have won the World Cup.
KUAM TV8, home of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Coverage begins February 6, 2026. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
On KUAM News Primetime.
Family and friends mourn after the body of Kevin Nauta is recovered Tuesday morning in Pago Bay.
It's money already collected but never delivered. Under Bill 186, the push is on to get GMH the funding it's owed by the Department of Administration. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the story coming up.
250 years of America's independence celebrated right here where America's Day begins. And at George Washington High School, the Gecko community and island leaders gathered out here in full force to celebrate in a very special way.
Good evening, Guam and Hafaday. I'm Jason Salas. This is Primetime, and these are your evening headlines. Well, we begin on a melancholy note, unfortunately, because just after 8 a.m. this morning, rescue divers located the body of 34-year-old Kevin Nauta about 50 feet below the surface in Pago Bay. His body was recovered and transported to GMH, with the Guam Police Department now leading the investigation. The fire department extends its deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Mr. Nauta, and thanks to Coast Guard, the Navy's HSC-25 helicopter squadron, and GPD for their assistance throughout this multi-agency search effort. And we, of course, here at KUAM extend our thoughts and prayers to the family of Kevin Nauta. In other news this evening, lawmakers are once again looking at ways to help the Guam Memorial Hospital get back on stable footing, as a new piece of proposed legislation aims to give GMH access to funds supposed to be in their possession already, funds that, according to the measure's author, have been sitting untouched for years. It's our next story with Nevaeh Anderson.
The Guam Memorial Hospital is owed more than $8 million, money already collected through taxes but never delivered. Now, Senator Sabrina Salas-Matanani is demanding accountability through Bill 186, which directs the government to finally release those funds.
For years, the law has said that a portion of the business privilege tax, 6.19%, goes into a special account called the Pharmaceutical Fund. This fund is supposed to help GMH pay for medicine, medical supplies, and equipment. The whole point of this law was to make sure GMH has a dedicated, steady source of funding separate from the general fund.
The senator says that even when tax revenues came in higher than expected, deposits into the pharmaceutical fund were capped at budgeted levels, shortchanging the hospital.
According to the audited financials, the Department of Administration still owes GMH $2.3 million from fiscal year 2019, $393,000 from FY 2021, $2.2 million from FY 2022, and $3.2 million from fiscal year 2023.
That totals roughly $8.1 million in funds already collected but never released. GMH Interim CEO and Administrator Dr. Jolene Uggan voiced strong support, calling the measure a necessary step towards stabilizing the hospital's finances.
So on the delivery of the subsidies that the legislature has provided, we are short roughly $3 million. And so this additional $8 million would leave us with essentially $5 million. First, it will be directed toward fulfilling our anticipated accounts payable for essential medical supplies and services in fiscal year 2026.
She says the funds will also help modernize outdated systems, strengthen vendor relationships, and improve overall operations.
This includes exploring the outsourcing of certain functions and departments identified as lacking sufficient capacity, as well as supporting the acquisition of new software to further improve overall operational efficiency.
GMH's Chief Financial Officer Yuka Hachinova said the hospital's vendor debts have already been drastically reduced after a $40 million appropriation, leaving just about $130,000 in outstanding payments. Meanwhile, Dr. Uggin says the hospital continues upgrading critical infrastructure, including repairing electrical panels and replacing aging generators to prevent further system failures. If passed, Bill 186 would require the Department of Administration to release the unallocated pharmaceutical fund balance to GMH within 30 days, a move hospital officials say would bring long overdue financial relief. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
All right. Thanks so much, Nevaeh, for that report. All right. Moving on in our rundown, America, the country of whom we are a territory, is gearing up to celebrate its 250th birthday. And here on the island, the Stars and Stripes are already on the move with a special stop in Mingilao at GW High. Matsuki Hirayama was there and shows us how students are honoring the nation's milestone and what it means for our island.
250 years of America's independence celebrated right here where America's Day begins. And at George Washington High School, the Gecko community and island leaders gathered out here in full force to celebrate in a very special way. George Washington High School students had the honor of flying a special American flag that's on a global journey across 50 U.S. states, U.S. territories, and 26 U.S. cemeteries in 10 countries.
Today, that same flag has reached Guam. What an incredible honor it is for our school, the oldest high school on island, and proudly named after our nation's first president, George Washington, to be part of this historic moment.
Called Flag Sojourn 250, the nationwide campaign leads up to America's 250th anniversary since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Guam stop marks an important chapter in that story.
We are the first U.S. territory to fly this flag. We are gathered to welcome this traveling flag that has crossed oceans and continents as the U.S. prepares to celebrate 250 years in 2026. Today it becomes our story, your story, and part of Guam's story.
At the ceremony, students stood side by side pledging allegiance, performing cultural songs, and reflecting on what the flag represents.
Our sons and daughters have worn the uniform, defended freedom, and protected the values that this flag represents. When we stand before it, we remember not only our history. Let's reflect on the challenges and struggles that we face as a U.S. territory. And we must continue to fight to make sure we too have our self-determination.
The flag's visit to Guam is just one stop on its journey into 2026, but for these students, it's a moment they won't forget.
Its visit to our island reminds us that the American story is also our story, one of courage, strength, and the belief that together we can overcome anything. As this flag continues its journey across all 50 states and territories, may it carry with it the heartbeat of Guam.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
The murder trial of Nicholas Moore has been delayed once again, this time because one of his defense attorneys, David Lujan, remains hospitalized. Now, Moore, who has been accused of killing 27-year-old Michael Castro in the year 2020, appeared before Judge Maria Senzan via Zoom for Friday's status hearing, in which Her Honor set another hearing for October 29th to reassess when the trial may resume and jurors may be recalled. This is not the first time Lujan's health has stalled one of Moore's cases, as his earlier Agana Heights shooting trial faced multiple postponements for the same reason, stretching those proceedings over months. Elsewhere, a high-speed crash and chaotic confrontation in Barrigada ended with 6 people in custody, including 5 adults, who are now confined at the Department of Corrections, as well as a 16-year-old released to a parent. Police say 20-year-old Ray J. Jane was behind the wheel when his car struck a median on Route 10, with Jane allegedly fighting with officers, admitting to drinking heavily, and later apologizing for his behavior. Also arrested, Sapuro Timothy, who is 19, Eric Matias Onichu, 18, BK Lut Onichi, who is 25, and Alex Onichi, who is 19. All have been accused of obstructing officers, underage drinking, and disorderly conduct. Investigators say the group had just fled from a Mighty game room where Jane and Onichu reportedly stole keys and damaged property. The incident, which was partly captured on video and shared throughout social media, has sparked attention as police continued their investigation. Education matters now as the Department of Education will present its annual State of Public Education report for school year 2024-2025 on Thursday. Superintendent of GDOE, Dr. Eric Swanson, will lead the presentation at sundown at GDOE headquarters over in Tidzin, and it's also going to be live streamed on the agency's channel on YouTube. The report is required by public law, providing a comprehensive look at progress, challenges, and achievements of the island's public school system, covering everything from student performance and academic outcomes to financial accountability and educational initiatives. Dr. Swanson says the report is important to reflect on GDOE's progress and reaffirm its commitment to student success, with the formal presentation expected to last about a half hour, with copies to be made available to attendees and the public at large following. In national headlines, the president arrived in Japan this morning for a second leg of his tour of Asia, with the trip set to culminate in a meeting Thursday in South Korea with President Xi Jinping amid an apparent breakthrough in high-stakes trade talks.
President Trump arriving in Japan this morning for the second leg of his Asia tour. The trip set to culminate in a meeting Thursday in South Korea with Chinese President Xi Jinping amid an apparent breakthrough in high-stakes trade talks.
I think we'll have a good deal with China, and they want to make a deal.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on NBC's Meet the Press announcing a framework for a trade deal to avoid President Trump's threatened 100% tariff increase on Chinese imports to the U.S.
I believe we've reached a very substantial framework that will avoid that and allow us to discuss many other things with the Chinese.
Inking a deal would help to wind down the trade war between the world's two biggest economies, while at the same time tensions ratcheting up with one of America's closest allies.
Canada has been ripping us off for a long time. One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada.
President Trump doubling down on slapping an additional 10% tariff on goods coming in from Canada because of an anti-tariff Government of Ontario TV ad featuring segments edited from a 1987 radio address by President Reagan.
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
The ad ran during the World Series over the weekend, but Ontario's premier says it will stop today. No meeting over the weekend when Canada's Prime Minister and President Trump were both in Malaysia for a trade summit, leaving a mixed picture on trade as American businesses and consumers wait for the impact on prices at home.
We'll go back to local news on the flip side of this break. Please stay tuned, everybody. You're watching KUAM.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Every day, there's something new to discover. Fresh styles, fresh finds, and fresh ways to make your home and family shine. So what's new at Kmart Guam? Ready to assemble furniture, stylish, affordable, and ready to take home today. Dream big with our new selection of mattresses, comfort you can count on. Upgrade your home with the latest appliances, arriving now. Step out in style with new arrivals in men's and women's fashion. Fresh looks for every season. What's new? Everything. And it's all waiting for you only at Kmart Guam.
You're watching Primetime on KUAM. All right, heads up for you youngsters. This next one's for you as the countdown for the Rise Teen Expo is on, and we're catching up with the teens behind the event to see what you can expect.
Gearing up for life after high school could be intimidating for some youngsters, but an upcoming event for teens by teens is hoping to shift that perspective. From educational workshops to career guidance, the Rise Teen Expo aims to give youth access to far-reaching opportunities right at their doorstep.
The goal of it is to bring all the teen-related opportunities, businesses, organizations, etc., all under one roof so that teens can come in and really learn what's out there for them and elevate their life, essentially, rise to the success.
Resources from Gala Guam, the Guam Army National Guard, University of Guam, and the Guam Community College are just a few of the many resources participants will be able to tap into.
It is made for teens by teens, so we based off the things that we wanted there off of what we would like to see there as well to kind of narrow the search for teens like us.
We actually conducted a Google Forms survey asking a few questions on what they would like to see there. And so far, I do believe we are hitting our marks in what they really want to see.
And while these teens at Simon Sanchez High School are deep in the trenches of planning and making the expo a reality for the island's young population, they say the event is just as helpful for them as high school seniors getting ready for graduation.
I feel like it's a very good opportunity. It offers a lot of new and exciting things that I've never tried before, so it feels really good to be able to expand on things like these so that it kind of opens my eyes more to what's out there.
The event will also be filled with fun activities to include a much requested car show, making it an event you won't want to miss. The expo will take place at Agana Shopping Center on November 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. free of charge.
All right, good job by the Sharks there. That's what we do. All right, if you're looking for something the whole family can enjoy this Halloween, we have news for you. As you want to head down to the Agana Shopping Center for a day filled with treats, laughs, and a little spooky fun. From 10 in the morning till 8 in the evening, you can enjoy a Halloween weekend pop-up market, along with face painting, henna tattoos, and a photo booth by Photo Shoot. DJ Luna Kays keeps the beats going while families explore the festivities. And please do not miss the big Halloween costume contest. Gotta have that. With categories for toddlers, babies, families, and much more. The entire family, as I said. Registration runs from 5:50 to 6:20 p.m. with the contest starting at 6:30, right around sundown. All treats, no tricks. Happening Halloween Day, which is Friday, by the way, this Friday, once again at the Agana Shopping Center. And staying with All Hallows Eve festivities for some early spooky fun, you want to get ready for the Night of the Duendes. It is Halloween with a local twist. The Governor's Office and Parks and Rec are bringing the Halloween magic to Paseo grounds downtown on Wednesday the 29th. That's tomorrow. From 6 to 8 p.m., the grounds will be transformed into a haunted haven for trick-or-treaters of all ages, complete with costume contests, a GovGuam canopy decorating competition, food, games, and more frights and fun than you can count. So you want to grab your family, dress up in your spookiest or silliest outfits, because those count too, and join in the Halloween celebration island style. Here's a shot of some fresh produce being sold at the swap meet up in Denver.
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, We work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
This is a bag. But for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce, topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price or participation may vary.
Samoa is coming back to Guam. The UOG Endowment Foundation and Guam Comedy present the return of the comedy sensation Samoa with his Chee-Hoo Tour. One night only, Saturday, November 1st at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are going fast at guamtime.net, so don't wait. Special thanks to our sponsors, the stations of choice broadcasting, the Guam Visitors Bureau, United Airlines, J&G, Yamaha, Townhouse, Matson, KUAM Communication, Trivision, Heineken, ASC Trust, BGIS, Advisors Unlimited, Western Resort, Docomo Pacific, Fruits, Raymond James, Bauman, Shoe and Black, IT&E, Moylan's Insurance, and Pepsi. Get ready to laugh and celebrate and shout, Yee-hoo!
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass in your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love.
And this is Giving Every Tuesday. It's a season of giving. And in the heart of Sinahanya, the mayor's office is spreading holiday cheer in the most meaningful way through their holiday cheer boxes drive. They're collecting non-perishable food and hygiene items to help families who may be struggling this season. It's a simple act of kindness that can bring comfort and hope to someone in need. Sinahanya Mayor Robert Hall.
During the holiday season, everyone's always thinking, how can we help other people? This is a great way to do that. So we're really glad to partner with KUAM and Giving Tuesday, and it's great to see that they're going to kind of help put the message out. We're accepting donations already. We'll package it, and then we quietly, without any fanfare, bring it to these families.
Sponsored by the Sinahanya Mayor's Office and St. Jude's Church, the initiative invites everyone to donate from a can of soup to a bar of soap, because even small gestures can make a big difference.
We partner with the church, so during Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Mass, people bring canned goods. The church turns it over to us, and we process it. And like I said, our village volunteers go together and put these boxes together. They write messages and put Christmas cards in there. And it's, we don't give actual gifts to. I think giving that gift during the holiday time is when money gets really tight. Families are struggling they want to give a gift to their other, their significant others or their kids. So it's hard to balance food on the table and gifts, and they want to be able to give their child a really good Christmas or Thanksgiving and holiday season. So
the holiday cheer boxes will go to families across the community who need a little extra support as the year comes to a close. Donations can be dropped off at the Sinahanya Mayor's Office Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and again from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. As the Mayor's Office reminds us, any donation helps. This season, let's come together to fill these boxes and hearts with holiday cheer. For this week's Giving Every Tuesday, help the Sinahanya Mayor's Office spread love and kindness one box at a time. For more information, you can call 671-472-6707.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Rescue Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas, and the Guam Army National Guard. Live here, serve here.
You guys, not only am I a presenter of news, I'm also a student of success, right? And check this out. This Halloween Carnival, Don't Ghost Us, is about as successful as you're going to be. I love the wordplay. I love the timeliness. I love the topicalness, if that's even a word, which it probably isn't. But Don't Ghost Us is amazing, and it's going to draw so many people to this wonderful carnival. So please, come in costume, celebrate Halloween. It is on Halloween Day, which is Friday, by the way. And dollar games. I love that. So you're going to save money. You're going to have an absolute blast. It's safe. It's family friendly. And again, the branding that they've used and the wordplay and the punniness is absolutely amazing. Great job on that poster, everybody. The Madame Ball is coming up. Speaking of events that I'm very, very impressed with, and for the 52nd time, the Guam Women's Club is holding their International Madame Ball, and Women Celebrating Unity for World Peace is happening. Topics that we really need to embrace, everybody, because these are things facing our world right now. So please make sure to get involved, support the Guam Women's Club because they are doing very, very good work, not only for our community, for our island, for the village, but all for society. They're very amazing women. Red, White, and Brew is coming up, and if you have not seen the interview I did with Monsignor and the church leadership down there in Maina for Our Lady of Purification Parish, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel right now and on Facebook. Amazing interview. They have got an incredible evening, afternoon, the entire time of cheese, wine, crackers, beer. It's 21 and over, everybody, so, you know, it's not for the kiddies. And they have music, they have entertainment, and you are going to go to help some very, very important people doing important work for the Lord. Right? All right, and the NBA Game of the Week, this is coming up. I told you about this yesterday, and we are excited about this because the latest Game of the Week is another doubleheader, and we have 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. games, right? Okay, so if you go to Sanchez, I say this all the time, if you go to Sanchez, you don't go to school till 12, right? So you can catch the Knicks at the Bucks, and if you are at JFK, when you go to class, you'll be able to catch the Clippers. When you get out of class, you'll be able to catch the Clippers and the Warriors. Game of the Week on KUAM. All right, here's the birthday. A most happy birthday on this Tuesday going out to Pastor Mar Lauren. Happy birthday, Pastor Mar of the Guam Micronesian Mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Thank you for doing the Lord's work, and our island certainly appreciates it. And Pastor, we wish you a very, very happy and wonderful birthday. Jojo Pangolin and Biba Nyao, your island misses you each and every day, Jolene, but not as much as we do. Stay righteous and royal. Hey, there you go. We love you, say your sisters all the way. And Robert E. Snover III, happy birthday, Robert. Love always your adoring familia. We hope each of you had the best birthday ever. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. All right, everybody, that's your report. I hope you all are able to make it out to the grocery stores and get your Halloween candy to pass out for little trick-or-treaters. And for all of you guys who are casting aspersions on candy corn, more for me. I love candy corn. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Be safe. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health. Hafa Guam, I'm Jason Salas here up in Dedido at the Northern Health Clinic where they are getting your fellow Guamanians happy and healthy, giving education, giving treatment, and giving very, very sound advice how to live a happy island lifestyle. And that's what we do. And so welcome to another episode of Health, Home, and Lifestyle where we show you how to live a healthy and happy island life. Here's what we got for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
We're back like we never left, everybody. House to Home is here. Hey, we got the full square today. We have Liz, we have Gina, we have myself, and we have our good friend Carlos Camacho, who has probably forgotten more about the topic of affordable housing than any of us will ever learn. He is that well versed in the topic and everything. So Carlos, welcome back. We're always glad to have you here, and your perspective is greatly appreciated.
Oh, thank you, Jason, Liz, and Gina. Thank you very much.
All right. So Liz actually was setting up this whole interview because Carlos, remember last time you were saying you were working on a variety of projects, putting some concepts together, trying to, get various people in lawmaking capacities on board with affordable housing. And Liz said, he's actually working on something really, really interesting and getting some pretty good traction on that. So we'd like to have you in our forum here to get us up to speed.
I wanted Carlos to come and me because Carlos was one of those very few developers that utilize federal programs. And I think one of his projects, correct me if I'm wrong, Carlos, that he did a project up in Maguilao and he did a number of homes. He was able to get grants to allow 20%, I think, that covered the infrastructure. And we've always talked about incentives for developers. And one of the things, if there was some help, some incentive that would help to help cover some of their costs, to help bring down, the prices, to make it affordable for our local community, it would be great. And I know Carlos is, I think, the one, not many were able to navigate through that federal process. Carlos was very successful, and now he's working on another project that I think would be great for Carlos to talk about.
Carlos, do you ever sleep?
Well, I'm back and forth in Guam, and sorry, my sore throat. back and forth Arizona and Guam, and right now in Arizona it is close to I think 8:30 in the evening. I'm assuming. I forget. I can't even know the time.
Well, go Sun Devils, as your hat says.
Yeah, yeah. So of course I've always watched the current events in Guam last 30 years on the housing issue. And, it just brings back memory 30 some years ago. Uh, Affordable housing was always the same issue ever since, that quote they got in these young kids nowadays. So, to give you back a little bit of the history, way back, we did not have 100% financing. We did not have the private mortgage insurance program and all that. All we had was the 80% financing, right? And the barrier to housing those days, at that time, the barrier to housing in those days is the 20% down payment, where a lot of families did not have 20%. And those days, I think the homes were being sold in the market 180, $200,000. So still 36 to 40,000 out of their pocket. That a lot of people didn't have that resource. So one of the things that I decided to investigate and see what's available in the federal program, as Liz defined, was a program which I got interviewed by one of your counter podcast companies about a week or 2 weeks ago, was the Rural Economic Development Program, known as RD today. 20, 30 years later, it's been one of the successful programs that every realtor has used in Guam's market because it provided 100% financing. That solved one of the barriers to housing since those days. And then later, the private mortgage insurance industry came in, right? And then Freddie Mac, and I don't know if there's any Fannie Mae in Guam, but they start offering the 95% financing. Of course, they have to pay the little extra private mortgage insurance premium because you're getting above the 80% criteria. And then the gap then was the closing cost part. And then that's when, fortunately, you got both executive and legislative branch ever since 30 years ago and today, always looking at different legislative policies and program. 30 years ago, it was Senator Francis Santos, the former, not the son now, but the dad, that introduced COCAHAT, Community Affordable Housing Act. Now that provided up to $40,000 down payment assistance towards the family's purchase of the home. That money has been rotating back and forth in its debt, because I think it's zero interest, but they pay back the principal and they roll it over whenever. But that is not a huge seed money. But that's one of the programs I used many, many years ago when we didn't have the 100% financing at that time, because the combined would be 95% financing. So that worked. So there was legislative policy that created that CAHAT program, and it worked until, again, like I said, like Liz said, I do a lot of federal research, and I saw one of the federal government and the USDA offering 100% in other states and Hawaii. And I said, what's so hard to introduce that in Guam? And I did a first pilot test in 1996 on that. And as I said in that last podcast, I only had 10 homes and I had 600 applicants for the 10 homes because of the 100% equation. And at that time, it became an available product to every lender in Guam that's participating. And now that's been one of the vehicles that worked. Then in 2000, we were hit by the population demographics under that category. A lot of people don't know, but I participated with Bureau Planning. That's why I said both government, the executive legislative branch play a major role. And we included the CDP, Census Designated Tract, place that you can carve out different parts of the island to make sure the population based on that CDP number is not more than 10,000 population base. And fortunately, in 2000, that was adopted and accepted by both Guam and the U.S. Census Agency. Now, that's how USDA came back into the equation, into Guam's portfolio. And later, we've seen a very creative financing arm from two different mortgage arms. one from Norcom, now called CMG, and one called Total Mortgage, because they're offering what they call the 203K. This is very key, limited. I have to say limited because why limited? They do not have an FHA certified inspector in Guam to certify the homes that's being sold in the market. If there is one, that's one of the weaknesses. And if we can encourage through legislative policy, FHA certified appraiser and FHA inspectors, then that 203K limited will be removed, and then we can go up to the ceiling in that sense to meet our inflationary costs. There are just so many toolboxes out there that I hope other people are listening and they could contribute in policy-wise and program-wise to help move these programs so they can help our families.
This is interesting, Gina, because if the only barrier to getting that substantial of a gain and making housing affordable for that many more of our people, all it requires is like a certified like appraiser. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy to get that kind of thing, but that's really all that's blocking that.
That's what I was told by the CMG and the Total Mortgage big bosses in the mainland.
Tender love and care. Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah, we just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
That the military is putting out to help tackle the shortage of homes here, and of course, inventory, and the land is available, but the problem in finding the right piece. Lucky Carlos found the right piece. You're looking at infrastructure, the utilities, and everything into that property, and even sewage, the sewer lines, we can't even bring them into areas that we can develop because the government talk about lack of funding. Now, the government had 90 million in excess. How about tapping into those funds to help make something happen? I mean, so it's got to be a collaboration. I know, Gina's laughing.
That's another thing we can't control. Tapping into that for...
We can't control that, but the discussion has to be made, and the legislature should get involved. And we got to get creative because, as Carlos said, over the many years, we're still talking about it. And what's the solution? At least, Carlos, you've done something about it, and you've navigated through the federal process to make that happen. Well, and many tried to follow your footsteps, but they couldn't figure it out.
Okay. And there is the key right there, because Carlos said a few moments ago, and I hope everybody watching this, that you picked up on that, is he said, developers, realtors, anybody in, the ecosystem of real estate. He said specifically, I believe I'm quoting you here now, Carlos. He said, if people only knew about this would be the tools that they can use. How can people actually get more educated, more coherent in this tool set, as you say?
Well,
obviously you've been into this for a while.
I remember many years ago when Liz used to invite stakeholders to speak to their agents. I was one of the speakers one time, and of course, all you got is their breakfast morning talk and their staff, and of course, I can talk for hours and an idea, it's like going to a conference, right? And you got 20 breakout session. You can't be in all 20 breakout sessions. So I try to be specific to what I think, what I can do for Guam. And I go to that one and I didn't care about the other 19 breakout sessions. I just stay on focus in that, right? So it's things like that. And, I know GAR is doing everything they can to create and educate their membership so that they can be well-versed, very smart real estate agents. I asked my daughter, now she's 21 graduate, I said, go get your license. Because, Dad, I don't know nothing. Goes, I will teach you what to do, right?
You gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and her one of her best friends, just to let you know, for full disclosure, is Liz's granddaughter. They were roommates from academy all the way up to ASU college, and now they're living back in Guam, and their parents and grandparents and me are in that industry, and we're trying to groom them to get in because I before I left Guam about 2 months ago, I introduced her to all my banking network. I told my banking friends, my daughter will make some mistakes. Don't worry. Just don't scare her about all these pro forma and underwriting and blah, blah, blah. Just let her get her foot wet. And if she doesn't understand it, she'll knock on my door and I'll see how I can solve it. But, at the end of the day, all these programs are toolboxes. And I do see other developers trying to use it now, which is I'm glad. So we know that there's that 500 million CDBG-DR that's going out, but again, that's targeted to a certain group, right? So that is, as you guys know, if you guys probably watched it, they allocated X amount of percent for housing, but again, targeted to the 80% and below, right? So I've been doing that for the last 30 years anyways, and other people will go after it, which is okay. Let the best guy who put a package in to do that market, that's fine. But it's that missing middle, as Liz described, is what can we do? What can we do to solve it? And that's what I'm working on.
Well, I would say, Carlos, and very, very humbly and respectfully, as one of the three hosts of a weekly segment on real estate, I would say thank you for your dedication, for sticking with this as long as you have, for continuing to probe into what is possible, and hopefully bring forth some real change in positive ways in the real estate market. And I would also say, as a personal individual and everything, someone who is in that missing middle, can you please hurry up? Because I would really like to take avail of those programs.
Well, there's a little bit more pressures in the market, as Liz just described. About a couple months ago, prior to the May 20 deadline, the U.S. government put out an RFP for private developers outside the fence to participate on their 2,400 shortage of housing that they need for their military patrons. So with our limited resources, I don't blame free market enterprise, these developers. And for full disclosure, I participated in some of that too, right? Because they put out an RFP. We're developers. We're going to go after it also. But in return, I know for a fact that the military is trying to figure out how they can participate. What I heard from the top brass, how they can participate in alleviating some of the impacts on housing area. And I'm working with some of the key players in that one too. And if they come up with a solution, that will be available for a lot of people to use. And that's from the federal government side. Well, hopefully I didn't leak out too much information in that.
Well, we look forward to hearing about it for sure.
Yes, and the more the merrier. And please, two things, Carlos. Please continue to fight the good fight. Continue to educate. Continue to raise up young professionals like your daughter. And hopefully we'll take over the next generation. And please also get some sucrets or something like that, because I know the air is very dry out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
And we've kept him talking too long.
Yes, but we appreciate it, Carlos. I was having a discussion with him earlier, and I said, Carlos, can you speak on our show today? And he graciously accepted.
Well, I will never turn down my good friend Liz and Gina.
And one of those forums that you talked about where you can speak for hours, it was at the GAR meeting over at the Hilton. What year was that, you two?
I forget. It's been a long time.
2018, but you spoke with such expertise, and and everybody in the room was riveted because they know, they were like, wow, there is real possibility here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of info in his head. I don't know how he does it.
But I did want to give credit. Way back when I first met Liz with their engineering office, she used to have almost this book so people can find certain places from point A to point B. I did my first.
The Guam Atlas was our first meeting. Yes.
Yeah, our first meeting, and I did my first advertisement in the back page.
Very nice. Well, Carlos, we do appreciate it, and hey, you're welcome on the show anytime, my friend.
But again, for the full disclosure, I do make some mistakes, and I'm not a perfect developer. In other words, when I make mistakes, I thought it can go A to B, but I had some hiccups, but that's okay. We all learn from all these situations. You know what I mean? And get it better. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Well, hey, but you've gotten to where you were by continuing to continuing to read, continuing to think, and continuing to make the occasional mistake here and there, and certainly the Guam real estate market is all the more better for it. So we do appreciate you.
Again, my last final, because I'm older than Arizona, I wish all my realtor colleagues and Liz's and Gina's team, because they got a lot of great minds out there, a lot of young great minds. Maybe they could start putting a toolbox suggestion somewhere, and everybody can read it as a public document, and that's a great creative idea, and we can take it from there. You know what I mean?
There you go. See,
great idea.
AI can't put together the information that Carlos had, you guys.
For sure.
All right, Carlos, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Gina. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Go on a journey to discover true health and wellness. At the Medical City, we bring you expert care, cutting-edge treatments, and personalized wellness programs. From wellness checkups to relaxation retreats, nurture your well-being in a place of healing. Explore the Philippines. Experience the Medical City.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Today, I am here at Synergy Studios in Hagåtña together with Amanda Frost, who is a Pilates instructor, a master Pilates instructor. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So I'm sure people are wondering, okay, what is the difference between a Pilates instructor and reformer instructor and a master instructor?
So a master instructor versus just a Pilates instructor is usually somebody that goes through a master instructor training. So it's a separate training than teacher training, where they're learning more on not just how to teach the moves itself, but how to teach people to teach the moves. So a little bit of a different realm there.
So you could basically train others and certify them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just curious if there's anything that you have kind of seen, kind of shifted in the island community as far as like the awareness to Pilates, and just if you have any stories of anyone who has made any kind of massive change.
I think what's been really cool about seeing it come to Guam in such a big way is people realize how accessible it is. I think sometimes, whether it's portrayed online or in certain ways, I think sometimes it's seen as a particular body type or a certain group of people or more dancer or geared, to a specific group. And I think once people try it, they realize it's really for everybody, and they realize how accessible it is, and that it is maybe not as intimidating as they previously thought. So it's been really nice to see people of all walks of life take to it. Pilates is very like rehab centered in a way. A lot of it is full body integration, but it was actually developed by Joseph Pilates, who as a child was very sickly, and he developed it in an internment camp for people who were injured. It really started as like a rehab exercise. He later went on to use it with like dancers to help them. But I've had clients everywhere from 80-year-olds or professional athletes or women who are pregnant.
That's the other thing I was going to ask.
All kinds of, so it's truly for everybody.
Okay. Can you just go through some of the things like the benefits, health benefits?
I think it's a really good full body integration system that not only strengthens, but it helps with mobility, helps, you know, with injuries.
Yeah. As we go through these transitional points in our lives, where it's postpartum, where it's menopause, perimenopause, things are happening to our bodies that we're like, wait a minute, last year it didn't feel like this, longer recovery, or like the frozen shoulder and all these different things.
Yeah, I've had clients, right, with frozen shoulder that can start to move again, or people with knee injuries who finally feel like they can do things.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people get limited over time. So it's so functional to just everyday life and not just to doing Pilates. And I think that's something that sets Pilates apart too, is it is really to help improve your life and your everyday function. Mat is considered foundational Pilates, and the reformer kind of builds upon that. Yes, it can still be accessible to many. Certain things are going to be a little bit different than reformer. It's a little less friendly sometimes to some, like, you know, if you're unable to kneel or something like that. So it can be a little harder sometimes on that. You're getting down on a physical mat. Mat is a little more, I call it more honest, right? It's just you and the mat.
Yeah, that is true.
When I moved to San Diego, I discovered Pilates randomly. I was in the middle of a really bad depression that I could not sort of figure my way out of. Very much attribute Pilates to one of the things that really helped pull me out. I think I felt like that mind-body connection, and it helped me take some time for myself and get centered and do something that in turn made me feel good. And I just fell in love with it. Been teaching for almost 11 years now, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad to have you here on Guam. Is there anything you want to share before we close?
I want everybody to feel like they can come take a Pilates class, and it is doable for anyone of any walk of life, no matter if they're younger, older, anywhere in between, have injuries, feel like they can't do it, because we will find a way that you can.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you all. I will see you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner